Every day, countless souls transition from this world to the next, but few return to share their experiences. Today, we delve into an extraordinary account that will challenge your understanding of life, death, and the eternal realm that awaits us all. Our story begins in Seattle, Washington, on what seemed like an ordinary spring day in 2006. Our witness, a respected supervisor at the Department of National Freedom in the juvenile courts, was going about his daily duties when destiny intervened in an unexpected way. He often remarked that he would work in this position until the day he died, a statement that would prove prophetic in ways he could never have imagined. That fateful morning, he was suddenly struck by an intense, searing pain in his right side. Having experienced kidney stones before, he immediately recognized the symptoms. Initially hoping it would pass as it had in previous episodes, he tried to endure the discomfort. However, this time was different. As the pain intensified beyond anything he had previously experienced, he made the crucial decision to seek emergency medical care. At the hospital, doctors discovered not only kidney stones, but also a severe kidney infection. What should have been a routine medical procedure would soon become a gateway to an extraordinary spiritual journey. The medical team admitted him and scheduled surgery for the following day to remove the stones. The surgery itself was successful, with the stones being effectively shattered. However, beneath the surface, an unseen danger was lurking. Unknown to the medical team, the prescribed antibiotics were failing to combat the infection effectively. When the kidney stones were fragmented, it created an unexpected pathway for the infection to spread rapidly throughout his body. What followed was a cascading failure of his vital organs, one by one, as sepsis took hold. Despite the medical team's best efforts, his condition deteriorated rapidly, leading to what would be declared as clinical death lasting 1 hour and 45 minutes. But as his physical body lay motionless in that hospital room, his consciousness was about to embark on an incredible journey that would forever change his understanding of life, death, and the divine. In that pivotal moment between life and death, something extraordinary occurred. Our witness described a sensation unlike anything in human experience. His consciousness separating from his physical form. In what felt like both an instant and an eternity, he found himself suspended above his own body, watching as medical personnel worked frantically below. But this was merely the beginning of his extraordinary journey. With a speed that defied earthly physics, he began to ascend. Through the solid hospital floors he moved, each level dissolving before him like mist. Up through the building he soared, past the roof and into the brilliant blue sky above Seattle. The city below grew smaller and smaller until it disappeared entirely from view. His ascent continued beyond our atmosphere, past the boundaries of Earth's gravitational embrace and through the vast expanse of space itself. Yet unlike the cold, dark void we know from astronomical photographs, this space was alive with divine purpose. He described it as a journey through living light, each moment bringing him closer to his celestial destination. As he approached what we know as heaven, he witnessed something remarkable. Not the singular tunnel of light so often described in near-death experiences, but rather what appeared to be magnificent windows of radiance. These weren't mere points of light, but grand portals of divine illumination, each seeming to pulse with welcome and purpose. Passing through these celestial windows, he entered a realm that defied earthly description. The first thing that struck him was the complete absence of fear or anxiety. Every trace of earthly worry dissolved, replaced by a peace so profound it seemed to permeate his very being. This wasn't the mere absence of conflict, but rather a positive, living peace that filled every aspect of existence. The atmosphere itself seemed to embrace him, welcoming him home with a warmth and acceptance he had never experienced in his earthly life. Every molecule of this celestial realm appeared to resonate with perfect harmony, creating a symphony of divine welcome that touched the deepest parts of his soul. The air itself was different. Not the mixture of gases we breathe on Earth, but something far more pure and life-giving. Each breath felt like drawing in not just air, but understanding, peace, and divine love. Colors existed that had no earthly counterparts, and the very substance of reality seemed more real, more solid, more true than anything he had experienced in the physical world. As his divine journey continued, the magnificent landscape of heaven began to unfold before him. Here was a realm where every element of creation existed in its most perfect form, untouched by decay or imperfection. The beauty he witnessed transcended anything imaginable on earth, yet somehow felt deeply familiar to his soul. The ground beneath his feet seemed alive with divine energy, each step bringing new waves of joy and wonder. The surface wasn't merely solid matter, but appeared to respond to his presence, creating perfect harmony with every movement. It was as if the very foundation of heaven celebrated alongside its newest arrival. The flora of heaven displayed a vibrancy that made earthly plants seem like mere shadows in comparison. Trees stood in majestic splendor, their leaves shimmering with an inner light that pulsed in rhythm with divine presence. These weren't just static objects, but living entities that seemed aware and responsive. Their branches swayed in a celestial breeze, creating music more beautiful than any earthly symphony. Flowers bloomed with colors beyond our earthly spectrum, each petal reflecting divine glory in ways that defied description. Some flowers appeared to sing, their melodious essence adding to the perfect harmony of heaven. Others emanated pure love, their very presence bringing waves of joy and peace to all who passed near. Gardens stretched as far as he could see, each one more beautiful than the last, perfectly arranged yet feeling completely natural. The atmosphere itself was filled with what he described as living light. Not the harsh, directional light we know on Earth, but a gentle, all-encompassing radiance that seemed to emanate from everything and everyone. This light didn't cast shadows. Instead, it revealed the true nature of all it touched, showing the divine perfection in every created thing. In this celestial realm, he encountered animals of all kinds, both familiar and extraordinary. Earth's creatures were there, but in their perfect form. Lions laying peacefully beside lambs, eagles soaring in formation with doves, each species existing in perfect harmony with all others. But there were also beings he had never seen before, magnificent creatures that defied earthly categorization, each one uniquely reflecting some aspect of divine creativity. Water flowed throughout this paradise, not in the turbulent ways we know on Earth, but in perfect patterns that seemed to dance with divine purpose. Rivers of living water moved with conscious grace, their surfaces reflecting not just light, but what appeared to be divine thoughts and purposes. The water itself seemed alive, each droplet containing worlds of wonder and beauty. The sky above was unlike anything on Earth. Not a simple blue expanse, but a living canvas of divine artistry. Colors shifted and moved in perfect patterns, creating displays that made the most spectacular earthly aurora seem pale in comparison. What appeared to be constellations moved in deliberate patterns, telling stories through their dance across the heavenly canvas. Each element of heaven's landscape seemed to exist in perfect relationship with every other part, creating a harmony so complete it brought tears of joy to his eyes. There was no sense of time passing in the earthly sense. Instead, each moment was perfect and complete in itself, flowing seamlessly into the next in an eternal dance of divine glory. As magnificent as heaven's landscape was, it served merely as a prelude to what would become the most profound moment of his journey. The divine encounter with Jesus Christ. Walking through what appeared to be a living forest that parted before him like a celestial curtain, he felt an overwhelming presence of pure love drawing him forward. When he emerged into a magnificent clearing, there stood Jesus Christ himself, surrounded by angels and the redeemed. The sight was so overwhelming that his legs could no longer support him. He fell to his knees, his eyes fixed upon the feet of the Savior. The presence of such perfect holiness and love was beyond anything a human heart could fully comprehend. Slowly, trembling with awe and wonder, he began to raise his gaze. As his eyes moved upward, waves of pure, unconditional love washed over him with increasing intensity. What struck him most profoundly was the way Jesus looked at him, not as a fallen, sinful being, but as if he had never committed a single transgression in his entire existence. This perfect love and complete acceptance brought forth tears of joy and gratitude. Then something extraordinary occurred. Jesus began to communicate with him, not through spoken words, but through what he described as a direct transmission of divine knowledge into his mind and spirit. This celestial download contained deeper understandings about God's love, the nature of eternity, and the true purpose of human existence. Each revelation brought with it not just information, but profound wisdom that seemed to transform the very fabric of his being. In this sacred moment, he understood truths that had previously seemed mysterious. He saw how every moment of life on earth held eternal significance, how every act of kindness created ripples in both time and eternity. He gained insight into the magnificent scope of God's plan for humanity, a plan far more wonderful and comprehensive than any human mind could conceive. During this divine encounter, he also experienced joyful reunions with departed loved ones, including his beloved grandmother Maria. These reunions revealed that family bonds continue in heaven, transformed into something even more beautiful and pure than their earthly counterparts. The love shared between family members in heaven was free from any earthly limitations or imperfections, existing in its most perfect and holy form. The presence of these family members, standing in worship before Jesus, demonstrated how heavenly relationships enhance rather than compete with our love for God. Every relationship in heaven existed in perfect harmony with divine love, each one reflecting and magnifying the glory of God in its own unique way. Despite the indescribable joy and peace of heaven, Jesus conveyed that it was not yet his time to stay. Though his heart yearned to remain in this perfect realm, he understood there was still divine purpose for his life on earth. In what seemed like an instant, his consciousness returned to his physical body, surprising the medical team who had been preparing to declare his death. This extraordinary journey transformed him completely. The fear of death that haunts so many was replaced by an unshakable certainty of heaven's reality and God's boundless love. His experience serves as a powerful testimony to the promise that awaits all believers, a realm of perfect peace, love, and joy in the presence of our Savior. His story reminds us that heaven is not a distant dream, but a present reality awaiting those who believe. In a world often darkened by doubt and fear, this account stands as a beacon of hope, assuring us that death is not the end, but rather a transition to something far more glorious than we could ever imagine. Through this man's experience, we glimpse the magnificent promise that Jesus made to all believers, that he has prepared a place for us, where love reigns supreme and every tear will be wiped away. It stands as a powerful reminder that our earthly journey, though sometimes challenging, leads to an eternal home of indescribable beauty and perfect peace in the presence of our loving Savior. If you found value in this extraordinary testimony of heaven's reality, I invite you to take a moment to engage with our community. Your simple actions can help spread this message of hope to others who need it. If this story touched your heart and brought you hope, please show your support by clicking the like button and sharing it with others who might need this message of comfort and assurance. For those who want to stay connected with more inspiring stories of faith and divine encounters, subscribe to our channel. Each week, we bring you powerful testimonies that strengthen faith and deepen understanding of God's love. If you found this content particularly meaningful, please consider clicking the thanks button below. Your appreciation helps us understand what matters most to our community. And for those who feel called to be part of something bigger, we invite you to join our member community. As a member, you'll gain exclusive access to special content that explores biblical truths and spiritual experiences in even greater depth. As our community grows, so does the value we can provide to each member. Thank you for being part of this journey. Together, we can build a community dedicated to sharing God's love and the reality of His promises. May God bless you all.